Hey guys, I own this 77 280Z. Got it as a barn find. It was in a barn for 22 years. And going through it, it's really spotless. There's a little rust on the normal spot over on the battery compartment, which I found out off of YouTube. That was bad and normally goes bad there. So that's something I'm going to have to fix in the future. But this is just some of the work I've been doing. And one of the things that right away I tried to figure out was the fuel. And of course I had to redo the fuel line, redo the fuel pump head seized up. I needed new injectors, which I'll show you in another video. So I bought new injectors. I put a gas tank underneath there just to see if I could get it running. And it does. It runs beautiful.
This thing's sitting in a barn. We finally got her up and running. New fuel injectors, ran the whole fuel line, did all of that. Basically, that was it. We redid the interior, but that was it with the fuel. And listen. Beautiful. I'm so happy. All right, good.
When I got underneath here to try to put gas in, I realized, as some of you have already figured out, the gas tank's rust. Well, this is my solution. I went all over eBay or Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere I could find to find about how to replace a rusty original tank with a fuel cell. And what scared me was everyone that did this had welders and cut the floor panels out, or the trunk panel out, took out the spare tire, and basically destroyed the car for their hot rod, which it's no problem at all. But for me personally, I wanted to try to keep this car as original as possible. Anything that I was going to do to hot rod it would be internal, so maybe working on the motor, new exhaust, intake, those kinds of things. And possibly working on the motor to, you know, bore it out, whatever it may be, to get more horsepower out of it. But I'm pretty happy with it being stock, so I'm trying to replace everything back to stock. Well, how do I remedy this situation to go from the round, oblonged, weird tank to a square tank without welding? Well, here's my solution, and there's the straps, of course. I got this tank, I think was from Summit. No, I'm not sure. Anyhow, I forgot where I got the tank, but I'll put that in the video, the next video when I mount it. You'll know everything I put in here. So let's see what our solution is. What I did was I quickly, crawling underneath, you have these little diamond shaped original holes. That was where the gas strap goes in. You got to figure out how to mount that. Now that sits at an angle. All right, so this isn't square. It sits at an angle. So how do I get that to match a frame and leave enough room on the top of that tank for this to get in? So here's my solution. I took angle iron and bolted with slotted angle iron, bolted with a washer that looks, if I can get it in here without messing everything up, that is actually ground off. It's an 1.5 inch washer, ground off the sides so that you can fit it in the hole and turn sideways so it fills that whole hole. The angle iron that I have, let's see, here is an old bed frame angle iron. It was already welded this way, so I would suggest if you do have a welder and you don't want to weld on the car, but you want to weld on the aftermarket stuff, you take a piece of, looks like a quarter, weld it to the end of the angle iron, and that gives you your piece that you're looking for. On the other side, just a plain piece of angle iron that goes through the original hole for the strap on the farthest down part of the frame, or the mount for the gas tank. Okay, so this is the lowest part of the tank. So we have to, the highest we can go is here. So this is where I started, and I put my piece of wood, which it's a lot cheaper than cutting metal to fit and lay it in there. I put my piece of wood on it, clamped it down, and when you crank, I'm seeing if I can back up enough. You crank it down, you have the beginnings of your frame. Now on the other side, I did the same thing. I don't know if I can get this or not, but I put it in the hole, piece of angle iron, and now it's in there. And on the same side, it'll be the same piece of wood. It'll go across, just like this one. It'll go across on the other side, which gives me, I think it's 6 inches by the bottom of the wheel well here, or the spare tire well. This is the flat part of the rear hatch. So that's where I'm at right now. I've measured everything. It will fit, but this was the preliminary video for you guys to take a look at and see what you think. Our frame, everything is trimmed off now. No welding on the original mounting holes. This is what I have in here. Drilled the holes. We're going to put the hangers in to see how she fits. There's the other side. There's enough strength from underneath the car. I can do a full chin up. So it can hold my 220 pounds. So we'll see. All right, that's what we have so far. Looks pretty cool. All right. Upside down, of course, but at least you can get the chest. All the original holes. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because I didn't see anybody else. Maybe there was, but nobody else on YouTube who had anything like this. So keep going.
I'm curious. I want to look. Yeah, Mac, can I go look?
Go. They're going into the big field up here.